Well, Luke, what's the overriding emotion after that one?
Well, disappointment, of course, is the most overriding emotion because of the result. But um, I don't have like a really terrible feeling that we performed really poorly. I don't have that feeling. In moments, not good enough. Of course, that's obvious. But over the course of the entire game, I'm not so gutted with the performance. That's the truth.
Clearly, there's going to be frustration about the number of goals conceded, not just today, but the previous game as well. What do you put it down to, the nature of some of the goals that seem to be going against us at the minute?
Well, we need to strike. I mean, first of all, the most important one is the quality of the opposition. There's really good players. I mean, Troy Deeney scored a hat-trick against us, and I'm pretty sure he scored a Premier League hat-trick before. He certainly has in the Championship. And the last time I was involved in a game and facing Troy Deeney, he scored two, I believe, for Birmingham. So the quality of the players is very high, and then of course we have to continue to improve how we play. I think we started in a way that we conceded 5 goals on the opening day, and then on the second one we conceded 2, and we're trying to become defensively better, but we still needed to score. So we scored 3 goals and then I think we had a 0-0 where we're trying so hard to concentrate on defending actions that maybe we forgot how to attack correctly. And we've been, I feel, maybe closer at times to striking a really good balance. But today the balance is not right because the opposition are asking really tough questions of us. The front two in particular were incredible. The whole team is a very, very good team. And the front two cause us so many problems. And of course, if you add to that the fact that we make a really costly mistake and then we're chasing the game from early on, it's hard to get the balance because you're trying to attack so much that it's difficult to stem the flow of counter-attacks, and then if you defend so much you're waiting to get beat and you're doing nothing, especially when you're 1-0 down early. So striking a balance is the most difficult thing, to change the players or change the positions of the players or give instructions to attack more or less, and these are all the things that we have to try to do to win a game of football.
We had brilliant momentum at times today. I mean, against, as you say, very strong opposition, but it just seemed that every time that we got a goal back, Colchester were able to quell the danger and find a goal either out of nowhere or capitalise on a mistake.
I think that was probably the difference between the two sides, was that when we had momentum you felt like we were going to score, but Colchester got the ability to just score from nothing. Because they know how to do that. They're not doing that by accident. They're doing that very, very in a smart way. But yeah, there's a difference there. We have momentum and you feel like, okay, we're going to score, and then if you score in that flow you feel like you'll score again. But then in between those 2 goals we concede, and we concede from, like I say, from kind of, you don't see it coming too much. So that was a difficult. It was so difficult to get so close and then you're behind again further.
Clearly we're all disappointed to lose, but you do have to acknowledge, I think, the heart and the spirit of the team. Every time that we conceded, we seemed to go back towards Colchester with even more gusto, and that last 10-15 minutes there were no heads dropped. Everybody was fighting for the cause, and on another day it would have been 5-5, I think.
Yeah, maybe on another day, but it's not really good enough to be always behind. So I think that, yeah, we could have done, and if we had come away with a point, I think we would still be deeply concerned about the overall amount of goals that we conceded. But certainly I agree with your point that the spirit that we expect from this group was there, and they not once looked like they were throwing a towel in. Far from it. So that is really encouraging.
A word on the supporters today as well, because it was a tough watch at times, it was a brilliant watch at other times, but right at the end there, when it really mattered, when your players came together with them, there was a fantastic atmosphere and a fantastic feeling between the two sets of people.
Oh, absolutely, and this is what we talk about, this momentum that you were talking about. We try to build rhythm and momentum, and I think that they can feel that, and then the noise goes up, and I feel for them that to see us concede so many goals, and I feel terrible that to see the first one so closely, because it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Professional players, and it can happen. No, it's not. I'm not saying we've seen the best players in the world make mistakes. The best goalkeepers, the best teams in the world. We see mistakes, but it's still difficult to see that. You don't want to see that. So, But then towards the death, they're in front of, we're attacking the goal and they're giving us the volume, and it did feel like we were going to, pinch something right at the death. But yeah, today wasn't the day.
Big October coming up, some massive games, some fantastic games. Starts with Swindon on Tuesday, who have had a fantastic start to the season. Was there enough good stuff there today to send us into that game in a good spirit? I mean, we're still top of the league, as Dave Bracegirdle's just mentioned to you there. It's certainly not the end of the world, is it?
No. And I think really, with us, the pressure and the disappointment comes from inside, and really I think you have every right to be very happy because you're sitting in the top position and you had a good start to the season, but I don't think we're feeling like really super happy. We're certainly not feeling down because we know we can come away from home, score 4 goals, so it's pretty good, but we have to not concede 5 goals, and then we come away from here with an incredible feeling. When we play away from home and score two goals and concede none the other week, and this is the top feeling that you can have, and then you feel really, really positive, but somewhere in between at the moment.
So what will you be doing to look at potentially the goals conceded? Because that's what a lot of people are going to be talking about after the game. What will you and the staff do? Will you do anything in particular to analyse it, or is it something which you're just going to try and move on from quickly?
No, we analyse every single game, and there are occasions when in debriefing the game you don't particularly have to concentrate too much on an opposition goal that they score, because potentially the goal is really obvious. What happened there was a mistake, and an individual mistake is almost pointless to highlight in a debrief meeting because everyone understands what happened. But if you have concede goals because there is something flawed in the game, then first of all I need to analyse, because maybe I put the players in the wrong position and give the wrong instruction, and this is causing them a problem, and potentially the players have the instructions correct but didn't manage to make a good enough performance, and then we have to show them, and that's how we work. Like, the guys understand that we say, look, I think we can do better here, and they're fine with that because they're such great pros. And then likewise myself and the staff, we look and say we probably made an error here and we're making it more difficult for our own team because we made the wrong formation, and I made the wrong formation, picked the wrong team. The certain personnel fits a certain game better, so we'd have to look at that for sure.
As mentioned earlier, hectic fixtures coming up. John Bostock was on the bench today. Is that just with a mind to how many games we've got coming up, and you're going to have to pre-manage your squad almost going into that month? Yeah,
I'm paranoid. I'm sure, like all the other coaching staff is. I'm really paranoid because the players picking up so many minutes, and the games, are so tough. The games are so tough, and they're picking up some of the players, lots of minutes twice a week, 3 times a week. So I'm really, really concerned, and try to use the squad in a responsible way. And so John is brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I don't like to see John really not on the pitch. That's the truth, and I don't like to see Matty Palmer come off the pitch, and I don't like to see Aaron come off the pitch, but I like to see Toby on it. It's difficult because you have to try to protect them, but you have to try not to break the rhythm and the flow, and this is all the challenging things that we have to deal with.
Sam Austin came into the team, stayed in the team for John Bostock. Aaron Domain came into the team following a suspension. You shuffled around. Sam was Johnny on the spot to score after Macca had his shot saved. Macca scored 2 typical Macca efforts, I think it's probably fair to say, and Jody Jones scored an absolutely outstanding goal. So to end on a positive, you got some attacking players with real confidence behind them going into this run of fixtures now.
Yeah, and we have to, as much as we have to attack with that rhythm and that confidence, we have to defend as a team as well. And things will become more clear when I have a chance to watch the game back, and then we try to help the players to not suffer in the same way. But and I think the most important thing always is to be honest about how good the opponents are. And today they were a brilliant team, and front two in particular on the counter attack cause us no end of problems. So we have to try and now learn from it, because we haven't played against a team with this structure and this type of personnel yet since we've been together. And so this was actually a unique game for us, and we have to try to learn from it, because there will be other teams similar.